Dallas Library Board of Trustees to order today, Wednesday, August the 9th. We'll now proceed to item 2 on the agenda, the Pledge of Allegiance. Jerry, would you lead us in the pledge, please? Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Jerry. We'll now move to item 3 on the agenda, the adoption of the agenda. I'll enter, Danitza.
I move that we adopt the agenda as is, Chairman.
You recommend.
I recommend that we adopt the agenda as is.
I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda of Wednesday, August the 9th as presented and recommended by Danitza.
Second?
No, you move. Motion by Ana Don. Second by Marva to adopt the agenda of Wednesday, August the 9th as presented and recommended by Danitza. Discussion? Objections? Motion carried. We'll now proceed to item 4, the call to the public. Anybody in the call to the public, Danitza?
There is no call to the public at this time, Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Lopez. We'll now move on to item 5, discussion items. 1, security issues. Lieutenant Bermudez. Welcome, Lieutenant.
Hi, thank you. Good morning, everybody in the board. There were a couple of issues regarding people in the park. So I know a couple of calls we got. Our officers went over there, dispersed them. Some were, looked like they were smoking. It was just cigarettes, so our officers dispersed them. Yesterday, there was an issue with an assault, an assault that happened. We went over there, it was a juvenile. We actually did place him under arrest, and he was charged, and he's gonna have court at a later date. And there was also a criminal damage incident that was reported for a vehicle that was parked overnight there. That was investigated. We don't have a suspect, but the damages were reported that happened at the parking in the rear of the library.
Okay. That complete your report, Lieutenant?
Yes, and we are still dispersing anybody after 10 from the park, from all parks at the city of Nogales due to that new ordinance. So I do have officers, when they see somebody after 10, they go in there, they let them know, hey, after 10, you're not supposed to be here, and they disperse the subjects.
And Lieutenant, thank you for that report. And you're still aware of our centennial celebration at the main library on October the 5th, because we are going to need some security. It's from 3 to 7 o'clock on October the 5th. And we would need security because we're going to have the main parking area like last time blocked off. We'd have to have that. And the parking would be in the back.
Okay, yeah, if I could get an email, and we'll make sure to set all that up as well.
All righty. Jerry, any questions for the Lieutenant?
I suppose you meant the assault.
Need to turn on your microphone, Jerry.
The assault was at the gazebo
Yes,
outside?
yes, outside the park, not inside the library.
Okay.
Okay, Marva? Ed?
No.
Brianna? I lost you, Juanita.
I'm here.
Okay.
I did have a question. Maybe I didn't hear. Were these incidents after 10 or in broad daylight?
The
One for next week.
the assault was during the
During the-
hours, the criminal damage were after hours, and the smoking was during the business hours.
Oh, okay. And after 10, the park is closed? Is
Yes,
that the idea? Okay.
all city parks
By
should
city
be closed and nobody can be inside the park. So that's why our officers go and make sure that nobody's congregating inside.
Thank you.
Anna?
No, thank you.
Lieutenant, thank you very much. And maybe the next meeting, you can give us some idea about your procedures for our October 5th centennial celebration.
Yes, I'll be
Which
here.
will be our last one for the centennial celebration.
Yes, I'll be here and I'll make sure to have an operation plan that I could share.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Thank you very much for coming in.
No problem. Thank you.
We're now going to move to item 2 under discussion items. Sonoida building update. Mr. Baladeras could not attend today, but Ms. Danitza Lopez has the update from him to give. Danitza?
Juan was not able to come today, but he did email me the tabulations for the 3 bids that did come in for the Sonoida building expansion. I emailed them this morning, and I also have them here, and Dr. Varona will pass them down. That's pretty much the update right now. The 3 bids are being looked at by the consultant, by the county, and they should have something in the next few weeks. Juan will let me know, and we will go on from there, and he will be here at the next meeting. So in front of you in the tabulation sheet are the three bids. Any questions?
Any questions on this? There seems to be quite a big of a difference between the low bid and the high bid. But at least we know that they're in the process of awarding the construction of this based on these tabulation sheets. So does anybody have any questions for Ms. Lopez? Ana?
Are any of these companies local?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Juanita?
Are these all over bids? These are over the budget?
I do not know. That would be a question for Juan. I'm not sure what
Not sure.
what the percentage was that the county had.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sure that the last bid, Canyon Building, it might be over. Yeah. Any other questions on the tabulation sheet or the presentation that Denise is making on the Sonoida building update?
I have
Ed?
a question. Yes, when is this going to the supervisors for their action?
This is already with the supervisors. I think they're just in discussion. And I think, and also the questions that you're asking me, and I don't know, if you want to write them down, keep them and email them to me, and I could send them over to Juan.
Okay.
Maybe at the next meeting, Juan will be here to tell us the current happenings of if the bid was awarded or what's going on there. And then he can tell us as they were awarded the bid, what is the timeline for completion. Any other questions on that? Okay, let's move on to item 3 under discussion items. Election of officers for 2023-2024. The chairperson, the vice chairperson, the secretary also. Every June, according to our bylaws, we have the elections of officers. Before we enter the elections of officers, I do want the board to know that my term expires in May, and I will not be seeking reappointment to this board on there. So it's up to you if you want me to continue. I'm happy to continue, but realize that in May would be the termination of my term. So I'm open for motions. You can make a joint motion for all 3 positions, or you can take them separately, whichever.
I recommend,
You move.
I move that Marcelino Varona continue in his position as chair until May.
Okay. There's a motion. Is there a second? Second by Jerry Smith. Motion and a second to name Marcelino Varona chairperson until May of 2024. Discussion?
Make sure I understand.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to nominate the president for the coming year.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
I thought we were going to nominate a president for the coming year.
You thought that we were going to name a chairman for the coming year?
Nominate and vote on these offices.
Well, that's what we're doing.
Okay?
There was a motion and a
We're
second
going to stay till May,
till May.
and then would we vote on a
Then you vote again. That's why it's
vote again?
right. I probably put it on the agenda for the April meeting.
April 24. Okay.
Correct. Is that clear, Mara?
Yeah, I just had a question too.
Sure.
My understanding too was that you were not going to serve as president that was my understanding. And so I did speak with Brian. But if you're continuing, I think I'm fine with the motion. I just was a little confused.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
In a discussion with you, I thought that we were, that
No,
you're
I had
not going to
just-
continue as chair, but that's fine. Okay.
Because of the centennial and because a couple of us are new on the board, I think it would really benefit us to continue as we are at this moment, and then in May, make another decision before, so that we can get through this.
Any further discussion? Objections? Motion carried. Now we'll have a motion for vice chairperson. I'll entertain a motion to name Juanita as the vice chairperson.
For a second? A second.
Seconded by Marva. Discussion. Objections? Motion carried. Now we'll move on to secretary.
I nominate
Marva.
Marva. May I
Yes.
nominate Marva to continue as secretary?
Motion to nominate Marva, seconded by Anna. Discussion? Objections? Motion carried. Okay, we're all set on that then. 4, we'll move on to item 4. Centennial Celebration Update. 1, October the 5th, Nogales Library Park from 3 to 7 is when we're going to have that celebration. And general information from committee, Anna.
So we have the suggested letter that we created and sent out. And so I'll take any suggestions. I know there are a couple of typos, just space issues with telephone numbers, et cetera, dashes. But is there any input from any of you on this letter? Jerry?
I suggest that the cost of the sculpture should be included so people have an idea of what kind of funds we're seeking.
Okay. I will pass that on to Benita.
Okay. Any other suggestions for Anna on that? The letter, I think, gets to the point. Oh, Anna, what were we going to do, Danitza? Were you able to put that on the water bills?
I talked to the finance director. The water bills are not sent from here. They're sent from another company, so that's not a possibility. They're not sent out locally.
Okay. So we'll have to, when we get this finally, we'll have to think of some strategy how we're going to get this out to the community. Jerry?
I have a question about the deadline for payment for the sculpture. In other words, if we have some difficulties in raising the funds,
Yes, Jerry, that's a valid point. We asked for extra money for our budget this year to include the financing of the sculpture. The sculpture is paid for by the city of Nogales and belongs to the city of Nogales. We're just raising money to help reimburse them. If we only raise 1,000 of the 5,000, the money goes back into the library account for their expenditure. But the statue, the sculpture is paid for and belongs to the city of Nogales.
okay, great.
Anna?
I have one more thing.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I asked that, Marva, I know you gave a speech, Marcelino, you gave a speech, and anybody that gave a speech, I'm going to ask you if you could please type up your speech and get it laminated. If you can't get it laminated, at least give me your speech so that I can get it laminated. So on the centennial celebration that evening, so that we can put that in the time capsule.
Anna, Mine was off the cuff. I have no idea what I said. So unless it was recorded or something, I didn't have it prepared or anything. It was off the cuff. So I can't write anything. I can't even remember what it said.
Yeah,
I'll see if anybody recorded it.
Okay. Somebody might have, but that's the only way I could tell you. I have no idea what I said. Juanita, did you have anything else?
See, something else, but about the date for the ceremony when we bury the time capsule.
December? Did we
Yeah,
say?
do we have a date? We haven't.
No, we
precisely-
haven't done that. We haven't discussed that. We just said that
Okay.
the only thing that the committee came to agreement, and correct me if I'm wrong, members, we just agreed that we weren't going to do it on October the 5th, that we needed more time, and we said that we would do that time in December to what is going to be in the time capsule, and sometime in December, we would have a little miniature ceremony there of the burial, invite the press and everything to put it away in the time capsule there.
So when do we decide that date? At the
Well,
committee meeting?
At the committee, yes.
Oh, okay, I understood that we were going to do that here, but okay.
We can do it here though, too. I mean, basically, everybody,
We've got everybody.
everybody is on the committee is here, so, I mean, all you have to do is make a motion, what dates and all of that, and then we can finalize it. Just let me know so I can see on my calendar in December.
To look at the calendar.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you have to
It
look-
looks like
oh.
we need some discussion, or some time to
Okay.
ponder. Okay.
Do you want to take it up in the committee, or do you want me to tell Danitza to put it on the agenda for us to approve here formally at this meeting in September?
Yeah. My suggestion would be that we do it for the September meeting,
Okay?
and that way we'll
Then
have
it's a
plenty
put it
of time. My suggestion would be, since we're having all of our events on the 5th of October, that December 5th be a date that we can, if it's an accommodating date, to work with, to take it out of the Christmas season buying event that goes on.
Okay.
That would be my,
And then we can also discuss it at the committee meeting and make a recommendation from the committee to the board here, okay? And then formally approve it in the September meeting. Okay, then? Anna?
So what I recommend is that, Marva, when you get your speech typed up and I get my speech typed up, I'll interview you so that we have what we didn't put in our
Okay.
speeches. Okay. Thank you.
Anything else? Marva? You're looking over here. So I'm trying to read your,
I think December 5th is probably too early, but that's just a suggestion. We just need to look at our calendars for that.
we can do that though, too. I mean, it's still a flexible date. There's nothing concrete.
yeah.
I mean, we can close up and say December the 5th or whatever. We're not taking any more recommendations for the time capsule. When we have the miniature ceremony, can be in January, December. I wouldn't do it any later than January. And it would be nice if we could do it during our centennial of 2023 instead of 2024. Anything else? If not, I'm going to move on. Book Challenge Policy Committee. Juanita.
Yes. My understanding is that we're going to have a motion and form a committee. I have, Marva has agreed to be on the committee, and I have, Brianna, did you get my email about that?
I was
You're-
looking into it. I was going to say I'd rather.
No,
hold off.
okay.
Yeah.
It would be
Brianna?
Anna?
No, hold on. Brianna, just remember to turn your mic on so the public can hear you when you're saying, because otherwise they cannot hear anything you're saying. Okay, Juanita, let's go back to you.
All right. I would like to have another volunteer so that we can have a committee of 3.
Anna?
Anna, will you?
Okay.
Okay, excellent. Okay, and what we will be doing is I will send out some models from Pima County and Cochise County. We'll look at those and develop a book challenge policy, plus a form. There's a form that we can submit, and we'll work with Danitza on that as well, and staff.
Okay, and then if you could just send to Danitza, just so she can put on the website. We have this committee, and the title of the committee is the Book Challenge Policy Committee. And if you can just prepare between the three of you a narrative and with objectives of what the purpose of the committee is. So in case, because this is a sensitive issue, okay? And the more, it could be, but we don't want to fall behind. This way, if somebody was to come and ask, well, what's the purpose of this committee? It's on the website. It's been explained to everybody. We approved everything here and presentations were made in the public right here.
Okay.
So if you can just, it doesn't have to be detailed, just something so in case somebody was to ask that question, we can respond to it. And Danitza can put it in the website there so it's out in the public.
And I'm hoping to have a draft by the next meeting,
That's fine. We can bring it in and we can.
probably sooner than the note, but okay,
Okay.
very good.
So what we'll do here on this, I will go ahead and appoint the Book Challenge Policy Committee right now, as Juanita will be the chairman of the committee, and on the committee will be Marva and Ana, and then we'll list those names in that order for formal approval at the next meeting. Okay?
Sure.
Jerry?
I'd like a brief explanation of the purpose. What is the book challenge? I'm not even clear on that.
Oh, this would give us a process to consider books that some of the patrons might bring a challenge to a book they would like to have removed from the library.
That's it.
Right. It's some people call it book reconsideration, and this would give us a policy, a way to respond to that request. And of course, we would hope that the person would read the book, and then we have a form and a process of appointing a committee and determining whether or not to remove the book from the libraries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, we have one at the last meeting. There is a policy, but it isn't spelled out. It's just more of a philosophy of the responsibility. Denise made that available to us at our last meeting. And of course, we will consider that when we come up with a policy.
Okay, Ana, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I was thinking because that we should maybe look at the National Library Association and the Arizona Library Association to see what they're,
Yeah, that's part of it.
right,
I'll
okay,
continue that.
okay.
Ed, did you have your hand up?
Yes. Is this in response to the national issue that has focused in banning books from school libraries and community libraries?
Juanita?
And
Well, yeah, that and the fact that we don't have a spelled out policy is something we need to look at, because the libraries, especially school libraries, are being challenged. The books are being
okay,
removed from, or people asked to remove them. The success rate is going down a little from what I have read recently, that many boards and libraries are supporting the library's selection of books. So, okay, thank you
Okay.
very much.
We're set with that agenda item. Let's move on to item 6, Nogales Library closure, August 14th through the 21st for lobby flooring project. Danitza?
Chairman, board members, I just wanted to let you know that the flooring project is happening, and the main library will be closed from August 14th through the 21st in order for the work to be completed, and also for the installation of the new circulation desk. We hope to be open to the public once again on August 22nd. In the meantime, staff from Nogales will be divided up into the Rio Rico Library and the Tubac Library. I will be at the main library as needed for any questions from the flooring company, and I will also be at the other libraries. And that's it. Any questions?
Danitza, just tell the board this was approved by the mayor and council and as a budget item and everything.
This was one of the capital requests that was approved for this fiscal year by mayor and council.
Ana?
Will the two back in the Rio Rico Library have the regular hours from the main library during that time?
Yeah, the other branches are on their regular schedules. Nothing has changed for them. They're
Oh, okay.
open. Yeah,
So the
they're good.
hours
Yeah,
would be the
nothing's going to happen. Yeah, and we already let patrons know. We've made recommendations. You know, if you need anything, call any of the other libraries. Do not worry about turning things in. So everything's.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, let's move on to item 7. Library Friends update, Mr. Delsey.
The only thing I can add is that we've just pretty much cleared that we will be meeting on the 31st of August. Correct? Yeah. Yeah, and that meeting will be at the library.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 31st of August, Mr. Delsey, at what time?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, okay. All right, anything else?
No, that'll do it.
Anna? Did you?
During that meeting, are we going to be looking for new volunteers to join the Friends of the Library?
Correct.
Okay, great. So I guess we have to be cognizant that there are people out there that are really interested in expanding our library and supporting our library.
Yeah.
We have the list from the invitees of the Centennial Celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? I'm going to move on to item 8 on the agenda, discussion and possible action to approve the minutes of June the 14th, 2023. Marva?
The minutes are ready for a motion to be approved.
Do you make the motion?
Okay, I move that the minutes for June 14th
We passed and adopted as
passed
presented.
and adopted as stated.
There's a motion on the floor that the minutes of June the 14th of 2023 be passed and adopted as presented and recommended by our secretary, Marva Toits. Seconded by Anna Doan. Discussion.
I have a question. Brianna's name doesn't appear.
Yeah, Judy did mention that. I should have brought that up. I'm so they're working with the IT people to change the template on that hasn't been done. But Judy's aware of that already. But it'll be done. We did talk about it. She did mention it, and I forgot to mention it right now. Okay, sorry, Judy. Okay, any further discussion? Objections? Motion carried. Item 6, board reports. Current event summary must be brief. Brief is spelled incorrectly. And there cannot be any proposals, discussion, deliberations, or legal action taken. Jerry?
Nothing.
Marva?
I have nothing.
Ed?
No question.
Brianna? Juanita?
At Sonoyta Library, we have been discussing how to keep some activity going on while the building construction's taking place. And we're looking at maybe a mobile library and continuing some programs at the Santa Cruz County Fairgrounds, in their Pioneer Hall.
The Pioneer Hall?
Yeah, so these are possibilities that the staff is willing to continue. So we're going to be looking into that once we have dates for the construction.
That would be good so that they don't get closed out, but I'm sure you have plenty of space in the Pioneer Hall. There's plenty there. Okay, very good. Thank you for that update. Anna?
Carrie Munoz from Gear Up and Maya Donnelly. School starts throughout the county. It's started today, I guess the last district. And so we want to make the library an inviting place for the new students to visit. And so Gear Up is going to distribute some of the signs that were left made by the Teen Challenge.
Oh.
And to the different teen centers throughout the county, so that to invite our kids to come to the library. And in there's a QR code so that they can look at the Facebook page at the library so that they can know what activities are happening at their locations.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Let's move down to item 7, Library Director's Report. Danitza, she's going to be reporting on activities, programs, back to school event, teen summer programs, Rio Rico programs, two-back programs, and Sonoyta activities. Danitza.
Board members, chairman, the back to school event was attended by 4 staff members for the Nogales Unified School District, and staff gave out supplies. I've just heard really good comments all from patrons and just people who were there. Next year, I have already been in talks with the Santa Cruz Valley Unified School District, because we are also going to be joining the Rio Rico one and for their back to school blitz. So more outreach programs there. The Teen Summer Program ended last week. There was a celebration. We got a donation from Villa's Market for food and snacks. The kids had a great time. We had 10 teens join the program throughout the summer. They made tie-dye shirts, they made their own buttons, they have their space now. So the balloons are still up right now if you happen to stop by the library. It says teens, it's to celebrate, and it's just a space for them now, so it's really good. Rio Rico, we've had Lego activities, we had Father's Day crafts. They're going to be having a Harry Potter event on August 30th. Tubac Library has been doing outreach events at the Presidio. I know they're working with Jacob Lopez, and they're going to be getting an activity with birding and local birds and inviting families to go look at the local birds. Sonoida, I know, is bringing back the chess club. We're working on getting a tutor over at the Sonoida Library. And I know there's an adult program where they're going to be painting wine glasses this month. And then we're going to have wine somewhere else. I'm just kidding. But yeah, lots of things happening at all the libraries, even with the closure coming up. I mean, staff is busy. We're all moving on. And for next month, I do want to report back on a health grant that the library obtained. And that'll be next month.
Okay, good. Jerry?
No questions.
Marva?
Thank you, David.
Ed? Brianna? Juanita?
No, thank you.
Anna?
Thank you, first of all. That's a lot, and it's exciting. And I live downtown, and so I see kids all over the place, and that I hadn't seen that for a while during the summer. So that was really exciting for me as a community member. I think this is just a general, not concern of mine is, when school supplies are being handed out, usually kids have a driver. But what happens to the kids that don't have a driver, that need the school supplies? I mean, that's just a question out there in the ethos. Like, how do we as a community make sure that the kids that most need the supplies get them? Just a question. Thank you.
As far as that question is involved, I can speak just on behalf of Nogales Unified School. Well, I shouldn't say that because I'm not on their school board anymore. But past practices have been that the principals recommend the students that they feel qualify the financial need, and they make sure that they get there. And all the principals are there to welcome the kids and the parents there. They all have tickets to get in there, and they served this time well over, I think it was close to 700 students in 2 hours that they served. I was a part of, because we give through the Santa Cruz Council on Aging, we have a table there with school supplies for the children. And I spent quite a bit of time observing the library table over there. And you should see the staff that was there. They had marvelous interactions with all of the kids. I mean, they got down to their level, got down. I forgot the name of the gentleman there. But there he was on his knees, hugging the kids, giving them, do you need this? Do you need, they did a wonderful job over there. It's a very nice program. And I know Rio Rico has one, Rio Rico School District, that's very successful also. Superintendent Verdugo there has done a great job making sure for school supplies that they're available. Okay, I'm going to move on to future agenda items. Jerry?
Nothing at this time.
Marva? Ed?
The only thing I want to add is that we'll be entertaining our agenda to look at another supply of books distribution at the county fair.
Oh, okay.
We'll determine that.
All righty. Thank you. Brianna? Okay. Juanita?
And the book challenge policy committee will have a.
Yes, that was on the agenda. She already knows. And along with the formal approval of the committee and everywhere
Okay.
on that. That's going to be on the agenda. Anda?
Nothing. Thank you.
The date of our next meeting will be Wednesday, September the 13th. Is everybody okay with that date? Did everybody put it in there to make sure? Go ahead.
Mr. Delcy, I have a quick question. The county fair participation, do you just want that as an agenda item, or do you want it under Friends?
I'm sorry.
The county fair participation, do you want it as a general board member item, or do you want it under Friends?
I would like to have it on the agenda.
Okay.
Is everybody okay for September the 13th? Everybody can make the meeting. Good. Okay, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting at 11:05. Record time, yes. That's because I have another meeting. Motion by Marva, seconded by Anna, that we adjourn this meeting at 11:05. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you. You forgot to, Judith, they forgot to hole punch mine.